Dandelion Princess here, and welcome back to Imp Headquarters, where I talk about anything and everything to do with Helva Boss and Hazbin Hotel. Today I'm going to be taking a crack at my very first character analysis type video, and for my first one I decided to talk about Loona. Now, I have several reasons for kind of choosing her, and one of the main ones is just the way she is perceived by the Helva Boss fandom. She is simultaneously one of the most loved and hated characters. Honestly, only one other character tops her in that department, and that would be Stolas. And trust me, I do super want to talk about Stolas as well. I do plan to make a video discussing him later, but he's a whole nother thing. And honestly, it's hard to talk about him without talking about Blitz, so I definitely think that those two are going to have to get like a video together. Loona gets so much hate because of the way she treats Blitz. Some of the people in the fandom even compare her to Stella. So more than anything, I kind of want to tackle that issue and hopefully show some clarity when it comes to Loona. Some of the things I say here will be speculation, as we don't know every single detail about Loona or her past. Also, everything that I kind of talk about in this video is just gonna be things that I personally picked up on through the show. So there could definitely be some details that I've missed, so please bear with me. So before I fully start talking about Loona, I think it's only fair to talk about Hellhounds in general and address how they are seen in Hell's hierarchy, which they are definitely not looked upon fondly. Hellhounds are at the very bottom of Hell's hierarchy, just below imps, and it shows. They can be bought and sold by pretty much any of the citizens of Hell. Hellhounds are mainly used as a source of protection. Stolas has Hellhounds as castle guards, Verosika has Vortex as her bodyguard, and in desperate times, Blitz relies on Loona. They're also often treated just as regular dogs, some used for pets or companionship.
No, I'm not looking for no ugly walker. I need something that's more family friendly.
A gift for the wife, huh? No problem. We have a nice selection of other hounds.
This all, of course, directly affects Loona, as it is how she's treated throughout the series. Even her own co-workers barely call her by her name.
Moxxie, stop shaking! You're gonna shoot our only Hellhound. Wow, I feel so loved here.
I love Moxxie and Millie, I do, but they have no respect for Loona or Hellhounds in general. It's not their fault, it's just how they're raised. Blitz, of course, isn't to that degree. He loves Loona as his own daughter, but even he can be demeaning sometimes.
You mean our only ticket to the other side? Yeah, got it.
And that's why you're my favorite, Looney. You get a tweet now.
Ew, stop.
Oh.
You're so gross!
He definitely doesn't do it in the degree that Stolas demeans imps, which, again, I'll talk about this more when I talk about Blitz and Stolas, but it all kind of has to do with Hell's hierarchy, so yeah, it's worth bringing up. Stolas does, of course, care about Blitz, and for the most part, I would say he treats imps better than most of the other Goetia do, but even he falters to the way he was raised. Loona has to deal with that kind of thing 24/7 and worse. So yeah, she doesn't always treat others with respect or take them seriously because they don't take her seriously. Honestly, half the time, when Loona lashes out, she is just reacting to what other people have done or said. But more on that a little later. Loona has much more free will than I feel like a lot of Hellhounds do. But like it or not, she does still have to be subservient. And I see literally nobody acknowledge this about her. But She literally does what she's told, even when she doesn't want to. When Blitz and Moxxie get captured in Truth Seekers, she will not reopen the portal because it's what Blitz said.
Open it again! Blitz was using a total of 0 euphemisms, innuendos, or swears. That means it was serious, which means I don't open it until— Open the fucking portal now!
At the Harvest Moon Festival, when Blitz calls for her, she does go, even if she is reluctant to do so. And in Truth Seekers, when her and Millie go to save the boys, she pretty much lets Millie take the lead.
How are we gonna get in?
Lift me up to that vent. Try one.
It may not seem like it because of the way she acts, but at the end of the day, she is still pretty dang obedient. And this is partly because of the way she is treated, and it's just been beaten into her subconscious to the point that she does it regardless. And it could also stem from a little bit of fear of being sent back to the pound. So a lot of Loona's outbursts could be a byproduct of this, at least a little bit. She doesn't always feel like she's her own person, and she still has to answer to Blitz and pretty much anybody else. Looking into Loona's past, that is definitely where most of her problems stem from. Now, we don't really have a good idea of how long she was in that poor excuse for an orphanage before Blitz adopted her. We have no idea what happened to her parents beforehand, if they just up and abandoned her there, or if her parents died. Either way, whatever happened to her parents or mother would cause abandonment issues to start to form in Loona. Her problems with abandonment are definitely a main source of issues for Loona and hold her back a lot, understandably. I also believe that while she was at the pound as a pup, she probably got adopted out quite a few times and brought back. This, of course, would only make her abandonment problems grow, as time and time again, anyone she relies on or trusts just gives up on her. We see even the pound itself giving up on her.
Who's that?
Oh, her. That's just Loona. What a nightmare. Serious attitude problems. She'll be out of our hair next month when she ages out. Good riddance, if you ask me. She'll never amount to anything much.
Her abandonment problems absolutely hold her back in her relationship with Blitz and really getting close to anyone. Because she was basically raised in that pound, she was never taught the correct way to express herself or her feelings. She has a very hard time with communication. We see this most heavily displayed with Vortex when she tries to talk to him. Now, of course, she does have a bit of a crush on Vortex and is nervous to begin with, but she is 10 times more awkward than any ditzy girl talking to her crush would be, at least in my opinion. She also has a hard time expressing herself to Blitz, and this leads to them butting heads a lot. It's hard for her to express to him when she doesn't like something he does, or when he crosses a line with her. But more on her relationship with Blitz in a second. First, I do want to address one of her other major problems, which is her aggression. This also stems from the pound. We see from just the short time that Blitz is there at the pound that Loona had to fight and defend herself a lot growing up. Her aggression definitely formed as a defense mechanism, in my opinion. Of course, she had to defend herself against the other Hellhounds at the pound, but I also think the workers were not the kindest either. And it's quite possible that as a pup, she was physically abused by any demons that worked there. Much like dogs in real life, I think Loona's aggression formed over time as she got positive results from it in the pound. When another Hellhound tried to mess with her and she fought back and won, they would leave her alone and probably not try to mess with her again. So in her mind, that is positive reinforcement to keep doing that. Aggression gets what she wants. And if she was physically abused by the workers at the pound, it would have worked the same way. The minute she started getting bigger and started actually growling and attacking them, they probably would have stopped trying to hurt her. This, of course, isn't healthy, but it happens in dogs in real life all the time. If you corner them enough, they're eventually gonna have fight or flight, and when they fight back and see that there's positive results, they start to revert to that behavior anytime there's something that they dislike. Though I know Hellhounds are represented as smarter than regular dogs by a long shot, they still have a lot of animalistic behavior because of the way Hellhounds are seen in Hell Society. I definitely think they lean into their animalistic behavior a lot more than any of the other species or demons. Now, all these problems directly affect her relationships in the series, so I do want to kind of touch on Loona and Blitz's relationship for a minute, as that is one of the main issues a lot of people have with Loona, claiming that she abuses Blitz. Now, I'm going to be upfront and say, I don't condone the way she treats Blitz, but I also think that's kind of the point. As I said before, her aggression is a major problem. All the characters of Helva are super flawed, and for Loona, that is one of her biggest. It's something that she's going to have to overcome, but since it's still early into the series, she hasn't quite tackled it yet. Right now, we're only exploring the ideas of why she is the way she is. So I do get people being upset when they see Blitz, who has done a lot for Loona, being treated poorly, especially when Blitz has gone through a lot in his own life. But here's the thing, Blitz isn't complaining.
I mean, wow, a good throw, honey. I'm so proud of you.
Sure, I don't think he actively wants to get hurt by her, but he doesn't do much to stop her either. I'm not saying that that makes it okay, but I do think it shows that Blitz understands her a little more than a lot of fans do. He understands that right now she can't really help it. And it's not that Loona is ungrateful. A lot of people seem to think that. She definitely does appreciate what Blitz did for her by adopting her. And believe it or not, she is happy with the life she has right now. At least content anyway. If she wasn't happy, she would leave. She is an adult in the present day of the show. So the fact that she still sticks with Blitz should say a lot for people. Just because she doesn't worship the ground Blitz walks on doesn't mean she's not grateful. And nor should she constantly praise him or feel in debt to him. Blitz has his own faults. He's definitely not perfect. So Loona acting like he is wouldn't help things at all. And yeah, they butt heads a lot. Blitz just wants that ideal father-daughter relationship, which on one hand I can't blame him for, but he definitely does go overboard at times when it is clear that she's uncomfortable. And again, Loona isn't the best at communicating, so she just resorts to her aggression to get her point across. And Blitz doesn't really help the matter either. Unfortunately for communication skills, Blitz isn't the best role model. Because of his own childhood and circumstances, he's not the best with emotions either. So he definitely doesn't push her to talk about her feelings or to go about things any differently. I also feel like both Blitz and Loona are very blunt when it comes to anything. They are very unfiltered, especially when emotions are running high. Though there's often truth behind their words, they have a way of phrasing things in a very hurtful way. And it's definitely not completely intentional. I just think neither of them have any couth and speak before they think. We see this especially with Blitz, whether it's talking to Stolas, Loona, Moxxie. He just kind of has that way of talking. He doesn't sugarcoat things, and whether or not Loona has picked that up from him, or she's just naturally like that as well, either way, it definitely leads to more hurt feelings than they realize. Speaking of things Loona possibly picked up from Blitz, messing with Moxxie is definitely at the top of the list.
Can't you finally do something about how fat you are?
I'm not.
You know, it wouldn't kill you to put a salad in your body every now and then.
What? But I'm not fat.
Again, people think that Loona is needlessly hurtful to Moxxie. She sees Blitz mess with Moxxie on the daily, so she does it too. Sometimes for her own enjoyment, sometimes it's to get a reaction from Blitz. The two of them team up against Moxxie at times. Again, it doesn't mean it's right or justify the actions, because they do definitely take it too far. But it's not as if Loona has no compassion for Moxxie. In Murder Family, she definitely does what she can to make him feel a bit better about killing a family. It may not exactly seem like it because of the way she phrases it, but she is trying to help in this scene, believe it or not.
Hey, you don't know they're innocent. This kid probably sets dogs on fire. Maybe this girl gets off to bullying Australian kids online, and this guy definitely watches.
The last problem that I kinda want to address with Loona is her problem with physical touch. She definitely is not a fan. Now, if she was abused as a pup, this could definitely be the cause of it. But even if she wasn't, it still makes sense for her to have this problem. If she was never really shown affection as a pup and had to learn how to self-soothe, I think that would still lead to her not liking physical touch or affection. Either way, she doesn't fully understand it, and she can only kind of stand it in small doses. We see this most in her relationship with Blitz. He is, of course, very affectionate and tries to shower Loona with affection. When she's in a good or decent mood, she definitely tolerates it, but other times she won't let him near her or even lashes out at him. Loona isn't a mushy, lovey-dovey person. She's happiest when her and Blitz are just kind of hanging out and being friends more than anything, when they are keeping things lighthearted and simple.
This is fucking beautiful.
Doing great, Moxxie!
Send me that video later.
Oh, I am always down to skin the manly meat with the manly man.
That's what she said.
What who said? Wait, what bitch is talking shit about me?
Now, another big thing that I did kind of want to address is Loona's conversation with Octavia. A lot of fans have misinterpreted this scene and blown it out of proportion, unfortunately. Some have called Loona out as being a hypocrite for saying what she says to Octavia when she treats Blitz the way she does. And I've just seen quite a few people confused as to why she would feel okay to talk to Octavia about this stuff, but that she still can't tell Blitz. To me, it's pretty simple. First off, what Loona says to Octavia isn't really that revealing. It's not like she poured her heart out to Octavia here. She simply could relate a little bit to what Octavia was saying and gave her 2 cents on the matter. She didn't even talk about Blitz specifically, though we know that's who she's thinking of when she's talking. Beyond that, I think it can be equated to why people seek out therapists. Sometimes it's easier to talk about your problems with a complete stranger because they're not affected by any of it, and they don't have any real bias. Loona can kind of open up to Octavia because, for one, she's non-threatening, and 2, because it doesn't change anything. If Loona opens up to Blitz about how much she actually appreciates him and cares about him and starts calling him dad, guess what? That changes their dynamic in a big way. And again, that's something she's not ready for. Saying how she feels makes it real, and that puts pressure on herself to act differently towards Blitz. I also think that it could partly be for Blitz's benefits, at least in Luna's mind. Look, she's not dumb. She knows how Blitz is. Though sharing her feelings with him wouldn't really change how he feels about her because he loves Loona regardless and sees himself as her father no matter what. Just knowing how much she really does count on him would put extra pressure on Blitz, something he does not do well with. Again, I'll discuss this more when I actually do a Blitz analysis, but I definitely think he has a big fear that the people he cares about will get hurt or worse. He tends to keep people at arm's length because of this. Now, Blitz would never abandon Loona, but he does have a tendency to get flaky when he knows he's getting in a little too deep. Blitz is nothing if not unpredictable. So honestly, I could definitely see Loona being a little bit nervous or scared of how he would react and maybe if he would leave. And no matter what, there's a bit of her that does doubt Blitz and not trust him. At the end of the day, look, Loona is not perfect, but she is slowly getting a little bit better. The fact that she did have this little connection with Octavia is a great start, as socializing, especially with people around her age, is going to help her a lot. She had to grow up fast and hold her own in the pound, so she doesn't let herself be vulnerable. This is a character who has been hurt multiple times in different ways and is trying to have some semblance of stability. Blitz isn't always the best role model either, but he is there for her more than anyone else ever has been. Honestly, I am super anxious to see her interact with Stolas, because honestly, I think they both have a lot in common. And though I think he has a tendency to come on too strong, I definitely think Stolas would be able to read Loona a little more than even Blitz. Both Stolas and Octavia have a much calmer demeanor compared to Blitz, so I think that would help her out a lot. I know some of you are probably going to say or think that I'm just trying to make excuses for Loona's actions, But honestly, I feel like Loona has a right to be the way she is, at least to some degree. Not that other characters haven't had it hard, but she has genuine fears and insecurities that hold her back. It's hard for her to connect with anyone. And honestly, I feel like she has changed a lot from when she was adopted. She was probably much worse back then when Blitz first adopted her. And I'd be willing to bet that she didn't even talk to him for the first few weeks that she lived with him. And she is definitely going to grow more through the series, just like all the characters. I was pretty neutral to Loona in the beginning, honestly. I mean, I thought she had some good lines, and I loved her design, but beyond that, I didn't really care too much about her one way or the other. But after seeing Stars, it definitely showed me a side of Loona that I didn't think was there. If there's one thing about Hellhounds that I love, it's that how it can always surprise me. Even when I think I know a character, they can turn around and show a complete different side of themselves, which is really cool and also true to life. I have honestly come to care for Loona quite a lot. And personally, I can't wait to see where they take her character next. And I think patience is a key word with both Loona and a lot of other situations with the series. People forget how early on into the series we are, since we just barely started season 2. There's so much more left for this series, and these characters are nowhere near done with their development. It just astounds me how much flack Loona gets for just being the scared, cornered animal that she is. I said my piece, and hopefully I did Loona some justice. Again, a lot of this is just kind of how I perceive her and what I have taken from the context that we've been given through the show. But I'm super curious to hear your guys' thoughts on her. Did seeing Stars change any of your guys' opinions on her? And what are you most looking forward to seeing in the future with Loona's character? Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.